Muhammad, why can't you be like Jesus? Oh, Muhammad, why can't you be like him? He made the lame to walk again. He calmed the stormy seas. He cast a net for the souls of men to give life eternity. He healed the lepers and the sick, threw demons from the crowds. But, Mo boy, you were being squeezed because you couldn't read aloud. And we say, oh, Muhammad, why can't you be like Jesus? Oh, Muhammad, why can't you be like him? Oh, Muhammad, why can't you be like Jesus? Oh, Muhammad, why can't you be like him? Christ walked upon the waters deep, gave good news to the poor. But old Mo took a baby bride and then he wanted more. Christ raised the dead back to life. Mo took his adopted son's wife. And Jesus cleansed us of our sins. But woe is Mo who wants him back again. And I say, oh, Muhammad, why can't you be like Jesus? Whoa, Muhammad, you'll never be like him.
Allah is a false god, a false god, a false god. Allah is a false god, a false god. Allah is a false god, a false god, a false god. Allah is a false god, a false god. And Muhammad is not a prophet. Muhammad is not a prophet. If you want grace and mercy and love, Islam is not for you. But Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus is the King of Kings who died to save us all. If you just repent and believe he took your sins on the cross, then mercy and grace, forgiveness and love, eternity can be yours. But Allah is a false god, a false god, a false god. Allah is a false god, a false god.
Hallelujah. Let Lord Jesus Christ shine forth. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us. Welcome to the live stream with DCCI Ministries. And I have Adam Seeker with me, where we are live streaming on Adam Seeker's YouTube channel. And is that Facebook?
Facebook.
And Facebook. And Facebook. So, peace of Christ be with you, Adam. How are you?
Peace of Christ be with you and everyone in the live chat. Hello, everyone. This is your favorite Murtad live once again with Sister Hatun.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing good. Good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Just not sure if I should be laughing to Muslims or I should be concerning for them. I'm not sure how I should be feeling about that part, but overall kind of encourages me go and then preach the glorious gospel of our glorious God more and more.
Amen to that. But like, this is how beautiful it is, you know. Somebody says the truth, the reality, with so many, sugar coatings and with so many, oh, if somebody can fix me and all that. And then everybody starts shouting at him, cursing at him. It's just beautiful, isn't it?
Love is very different within Muslim community, like that brotherhood is so strong, like they just curse one another. Love is so powerful, love is so powerful.
Mashallah, the true religion of peace, sister, the true religion of peace.
Yeah. And do you want to take time and then quick to say hi to your audience, brother, or you want to ignore them?
I don't ignore my audience. I love them. They love me. And we are working for this beautiful moment that we are going to show the reality, the truth to everyone. Thank you, audience from everywhere. Love you all. And you are going to enjoy this beautiful, beautiful video, and you'll learn and you'll understand some of the most crucial aspects of this Deen Allah. This Deen Allah. By the way, why did Allah named it Deen? Anyhow, but like this is the Deen in Allah's near to Allah, or wow, I'm sorry. Sometimes I lose my words because
Yeah, I'll
even Allah
step
can't
in.
comprehend what He said.
I'll step in there. Um, Peace of Christ be with you, Brother Hussein, and also Phil. Thank you very much, everyone who is watching us on Facebook, Adam Sika YouTube channel as well. So it's um, good that you are around. So, um, Adam Sika, do you know someone called Robert Spencer?
Who doesn't know him? I love him and I love his work. He's
Mhm.
awesome.
So you know him, and do you know someone called Jay Smith?
Absolutely. J. Smith has a very crucial role in my life when I was trying to learn about Islam, and like he got me out of being a Quranist. Let's just put it this way. Like he has a very crucial role in that.
He took you out of Quranist.
Yeah. So
He's
basically,
making people. I think right now it seems he's encouraging people to be Quranist.
so what happened was like when I was learning Islam and everything too, and then there was a time when I was like, hadiths are bad and they are disgusting, and hence what happened is somebody wrote them. So I was like in a mode where I call these kind of Muslims right now as Ahlul Choice Pro Max, right? So I became a person who was choosing, picking and choosing some hadiths and leaving some hadiths, but mostly as like Quran is my rock. I stand on Quran. And then the debate of J. Smith with Shabir Ali came into my eyes or my recommendation, and I realized Quran has been changed. So I did some more research, and then you and J. Smith I found on Speaker's Corner holding multiple Qurans, and that tall broom-faced guy, part-time stripper, is trying to disprove you guys. And that is where I was like, what is happening? Even the Quran has been changed. So a new era of my life started from there. So yeah, that's the whole idea.
Well, praise the King of Kings who uses brothers and sisters to help people to get out of Islam. So all glory goes to the Lord. So uh,
Amen.
Robert Spencer and Jay Smith kind of came up with theories that it is difficult to trust the Hadith. They are right now holding the view Muhammad is not existed, but historicity of hadith has been questioned, and with even in Muslim circles, like you remember you are reading Muslim Sahih hadith and then suddenly that hadith is not reliable anymore stuff and they don't like it. And almost over 2 weeks ago, Sheikh Yasir Qadhi was giving platform to promote his book. He's written about Salafism. Apparently, once upon a time, he was Salafi, and then he walked out of Salafi, and then he put together theology and his experiences. It's like very easy to read it. And like, I know I said this before, but I shouldn't be the one who promotes his book. But if you are curious about kind of history of Islam and division stuff, it is very helpful book to read it. So I quite enjoy it. And he's got very easy, like you can understand, it's not that much struggle to read it. And as he was promoting his book, talking about and answering certain questions about his book, he was asked questions about the historical critic regarding the hadith. So within Muslim circle, there is a group called Salafis. For them, like this, Quran and Sahabas are very much important stuff. And then when the questioner asked about the historical critics for the historical reliability of the hadith, that caused some struggles to Yasir Qadhi. So if you are okay with that, let's just remind it what Yasir Qadhi told about. After that, we want to go through Abu Masud's video and then see his rebuttal, how he debunked Yasir Qadhi and discredit the um, information Yasir Qadhi shared with us. Are you okay with that plan?
I'm absolutely fine, and rather you described it very good. I haven't seen anybody promoting somebody else's books like you did,
Oh,
but you did a perfect promotion for Yasir Qadhi.
I
So
like his
Yasir,
book. Like it's really, really, it's been very helpful. I read a couple of his other books as well. Like he's I don't know. I know probably these things are causing him to get into more troubles. Um, so-called critics of Islam's are kind of complimenting him, but like he's a really good writer. I enjoy his writings.
so you're right. He is one of the most few Muslims. I don't know why he called himself a Muslim, but Muslims who has the ability to put in maybe 50-60% truth, 70% truth in most of the locations. So even in his talk, when he was talking about hadith, you have seen that he tried to sugarcoat his words with 50% of non required sentences when he actually said, oh, there's no historical evidence academically to see that any of the hadith goes back to Muhammad. That was a simple sentence, but as you know that he took at least 7 minutes to state this point. So I would say most of his words, which are true, are there in his book, but with some twists and turns and some sugar coating. So if you are allergic to sugar, don't read this book. But if you are not allergic to sugars, oh, you should. As Sister Hatun enjoyed it, she loves sugar, as we all know that. Yes, sister.
No, I'm not good with sugar, but I find it was educational for me. Of course, if he just use it only like within 30 seconds to say like, yeah, we cannot trace back Hadith to Muhammad, that won't be book. That will be just like tweet post for Twitter. He's writing a book, brother. Give him credit. He needs to make.
Mashallah.
He need,
Mashallah.
so that like there are certain amount you need to write when you write a book. You need to have a chapters. You need all those kind of things.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so he is writing a book and he has to write some number of pages so that it will be called a book.
Yeah.
Now I got it. Now I got it.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he's like in a he's doing video recording. He needs to kind of, he can't just say yes and no, because like ideally you want to explain that yes and no.
Perfect. 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 And then he has to explain this yes and no in such a way that if somebody comes in and hears what he said, they won't curse him. Yet they were cursing him.
I
The,
don't know.
beau-
Yeah.
the, beau- the beautiful part was, sister, that he actually said, if somebody can give me the evidence or he has a book, please send it to me. I'll be very thankful and I will change my views. And I have seen at least 12, 13 different videos of different muftis or scholars or whatever you may like to call them. None of them has given him any evidence except for the Islamic evidence. So in the academia, nobody accepts those evidences. And that's exactly what he was saying.
Yeah. um I don't know how many minutes will it take until we get to the respond video. Probably you just got bored with chit chat. Why don't you go and hang around in somewhere else, and then maybe kind of after the live stream you can watch the video with the fast speed and then figure out where is the response video. You can check that out. So
He really don't like our voices, I think.
it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. Okay, ready with Yasir Qadhi's video.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Just a gently reminder, actually maybe you can do that from your side, brother. Would you be able to pull up from your side, go
Yes.
on Yasir Qadhi's YouTube channel and then put up his video on understanding Salafism? He put it up a day ago or something, 2 days ago maybe.
Oh, so now you're doing understanding Salafism rather than the one that
No.
we.
No, I want to put up the video, but I want you to have that video ready on your site to share, because I'm going to ask you. I'm going
Okay.
to point out something after the we are watching this, after we watch this video.
Alrighty.
Okay, let's go.
In the Western Academy, we have a very skeptical approach to the Hadith corpus and its ability to tell us anything really about the Prophet and actually what he did and said, which appears to be diametrically opposed to the Salafi theological emphasis on the Hadith canon. How do you think this sort of academic scholarship and also its increasing accessibility to lay believers will affect or influence the continued development of Salafi or post-Salafi thought?
That is a very difficult question because it's very sensitive and because there's no easy answer and because we are witnessing this in live time. It's a very difficult question.
I find this part so funny.
It is a question that I myself am grappling with at a personal level, at a believing level, and as an academic, and as a preacher and teacher. Without a doubt, studying Islam in the madrasa and then studying in the academy has shaped me. And I've spoken about this in a lot more detail. I have a lecture online, if you're interested. It's called Between the Madrasa and the Academy. And I go over and I highlight that there's good and bad in both. I am not a fan of creating animosity between these two strands. I actually believe it is important that both of them recognize that each one has much to offer the other.
Can you please pause here?
I speak as somebody who's...
So, sorry for the laughter, but like, I did that on my Urdu channel as well. It's so crazy that academia would gain something from madrasa. What would academia gain? I'm leaving all the previous sugarcoating that he done beforehand, where I had this thing, and then so by the way, he'll go to the PhD on his postgraduate on the University of Medina, but that's fine. Like, but like, what does madrasa has to offer to the world, sister? Anything that you think of?
Well, if there was something, probably he wouldn't answer the question of a question in this way. It's something he's been struggling and he keeping them separate. It's just on a different topic, link but different topic. If you remember the live stream we did a while back, what was happening in madrasas in Pakistan, where the boys are being sexually abused. I think that is what madrasas are offering to the world. But I don't know if anyone can work that out and then figure out how that affects the academia. I don't know that part. But so far, I don't know what madrasas are offering to the world, offering to the academia.
Oh, yeah, that. Okay, so you're talking about the Pride Month, which has been enforced on the kids in madrasas. Okay, yeah, that's something pure religious, right? Islamic. Perfect. Okay. Other than that, you can't think of anything.
I don't know.
All right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense.
But don't ask those difficult questions. I've been struggling with these questions for whole my life. It's been huge struggle.
So perfect, perfect. And you had shock in your mind after these questions as well, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Traversed both of them and respects both of them. There are also areas where we're going to have to agree to disagree. And we should be brave enough to just acknowledge it and move on. Hadith is another area we're going to have to agree to disagree. There is no, now I hope there is, but as of yet, as somebody who's graduate, my undergraduate was in the College of Hadith. So I specialized, and it is said, and I'm not just saying because I'm a graduate, this was the well-known reality, that the College of Hadith in the University of Medina in the 90s and the 70s, 80s, and 90s, they've changed it now. It was considered to be the most advanced study of hadith at the undergraduate level in the entire world. And as somebody who went through that and has talked to other people from other institutes, I would very much agree with that, the amount of studying that we did. So what I'm trying to say is I've studied hadith inside out. I have ijazat more than I do. I forgot how many I have. I have plenty of ijazat. And I've also studied the historical critical method. In fact, for a period of my life, my second year of Yale, before I decided
Can you please pause?
I really
Okay. This is like after this, he's gonna say a sentence that we need to ponder on. So before he went to Yale, he was in the top university slash madrasa, because that was a madrasa basically, which now is called university, in Medina for Islamic Hadith collection and Hadith authenticity and all. So he's coming to Yale with a pre-notion that these Hadith literature is absolutely reliable, it's absolutely true, goes back to Muhammad, and every single Hadith that is either Sahih or Hasan or the subclassification of Hasan are 85% to 99.99% accurate and precise. This is the pre-notion that he's bringing to Yale University. Sister, did I say anything wrong over here?
No, addition to what you said, it might be beneficial to kind of remind the people who are watching us in Facebook and on Adam Seeker's YouTube channel. He is someone who is qualified to speak about Hadith. Okay, he studied it, he's qualified to speak about it. And as Adam expressed, he kind of left the college by knowing the words are actually exactly what Muhammad said. When Hadith says, this person took from this person, this person took from this person, this person took from this person, and they say Prophet said in his mind, yes, this is actually what Prophet said. And now he's gonna answer the question.
No, now he's going into Yale University, and now he's going to say what kind of a PhD research paper he wanted to write and he did not write.
Oh yeah, sorry.
This is a very important subject over. This is the crux where the madrasa meets the academia, and he tries to join them, and what happens? Let's check it out.
Yeah, so he finished the College of Hadith. He's got ijazats. He can't even remember how many, and he's entering the Yale.
He wanted to write a PhD on the isnad analysis and basically a Muslim defense of it, which would have been utilizing the historical critical method. So anyway, my point being, I'm well aware.
Pause.
My preliminary conclusion.
And he did not write it. So,
yeah.
Okay, imagine this. Imagine this, guys. Person who's doing PhD level study in Yale on the historical criticism methods, and he has already done postgrad in Hadith sciences. Isnad is the chain of narration, just like sister explained. A said to B, B said to C, C said to D, D said to E, E said to F, that Muhammad said this thing. Written 350 years later, and he is coming in with a pre-notion. This is absolutely true. Now he is studying historical criticism method about the history, and now he wanted to join the two together to prove that every single hadith goes back to Muhammad, and it is historically critically approved academically based on the academic standards to figure out if somebody in the history has said something about something. This is the pre-proved notion that he's coming in from. And he did not write this paper. Sister, why do you think he did not write this paper?
That's a big question, brother. Also, remember, he's not only thinking, okay, this goes back to Muhammad, but he's also, for sure, this is what Muhammad said. This is like exactly his words. And then, of course, paper was not put together. Maybe he didn't have funding. You don't know. People need to support you when you do PhDs.
Absolutely. But now he's going to say a sentence after utilizing another 60 seconds. why he did not write it.
Brother, we need to give him credit, okay? Like, poor guy. He's gonna go under the curses. Let him speak. Give him his time. So he's got enough time. He says however and whenever whatever he wants to say. So at the end he doesn't say, oh, they didn't give me enough time to answer the question.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We all been there.
My preliminary conclusion, and please audience understand, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. Preliminary conclusion is there is no middle ground. And historical critical method and isnad analysis are two diametrically opposed ways of looking at early Islam and reports, and I don't find much commonality between them as of yet. Obviously in small areas here, but overall, two diametrically opposed epistemologies. That having been said, therefore, one will have to navigate the religious side of things if you are a believing Sunni, Hadith believer, in a different epistemology. And when you are arguing in the academic world, you'll have to use a different epistemology. So in some areas, there's good, healthy overlap. In some areas, we'll politely agree to disagree. And in some areas, they're diametrically opposed. This is my preliminary analysis, and I would love to be proven wrong. And I would love for somebody to come and say, no, you are absolutely incorrect. And we can prove hadith via the historical critical method. And this is how we do it. And I would literally thank that person and be the first to buy the book and love to see it. As of yet, though, I'm a little bit pessimistic and I don't see there to be much of a commonality. So we're going to have to simply say, if you believe in the, that the Sunnah has been preserved by the hadith, you're going to have to follow a certain epistemology, a certain paradigm. And if you are, like, as you're aware, and you're an academic channel, right? You're well aware, nobody in the academy affirms the Muslim Sunni science of hadith. Nobody. It is considered to be completely discredited. I'm just being factual. I'm describing. I'm not.
Ouch. Ouch. He just said nobody. Sister, do you understand when he said nobody, he had to be, that is why he had to take like 2 minutes before he said nobody. Like,
Well, whether 2 minutes or how many minutes or 5 minutes, 7 seconds, he meant nobody. Nobody meant nobody. They all discredit the science of hadith. That means all those names you see in the hadith chains in hadith, this person A took it from B, B took it from C, C took it from D, and then it goes on. And then by the time and A and Z met, there is no meeting because they are all dead. He says, nope, that doesn't work.
he said nobody in the historical critical method, using the academic historical critical method, which is defined in the academia to prove or credit something to somebody of the historical person, like Julius Caesar, like anybody in the history, Hitler. Nobody in the academia, if they use the same standards, will be able to credit the hadiths that even a single hadith going back to Muhammad.
Yep.
This is deep.
And remember, he expressed that he even studied HCM. So it's not like he doesn't know how does it work. He looked into it and he come to the conclusion that nobody believes these are the exact sayings of Muhammad. It has been discredited by everyone.
In the academia.
Yep.
Perfect. Can we rewind just like 10 seconds and play again this part when he said nobody? Perfect. Thank you, sister. You are so kind.
You're an academic channel, right? You're well aware, nobody in the academy affirms the the Muslim Sunni science of Hadith. Nobody. It is considered to be completely discredited. I'm just being factual. I'm describing. I'm not
I'm not
saying which
picking
one is right or
side.
wrong. I'm just saying the max you'll get, like Harold Motsky and others are going to say, well, we can say that some hadith definitely go back to some tabi'un.
Mhm.
That's like the max you can say. As for definitively stating that the hadith go back to the Prophet ﷺ, at this stage of my life, I will have to say, this is what I say as a believer, not as an academic.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
Okay, so
Ouch.
you picked that up. Everyone else picked that up.
It's a beautiful word. From coming out from a Yale University PhD professor who's teaching in Texas in some university as a professor, and he's saying that I have a blind faith with no critical method being used, that these words written in thousands of books that he actually uses every other day to describe Muhammad and his life and his saying, all of these books, he just said that he believes in these books, that these are the sayings of Muhammad and the sayings of the Sahaba, which is the first level companions of Muhammad, like Ali, Umar, Abu Bakr, Uthman, Abu Huraira, and every single one of them. There is not a single person that he can prove by using any historical critical method. This is beautiful, and he has blind faith that he believes in them, and then he teaches them. So he teaches blind faith to all of his followers. MashaAllah. I I actually nowadays say Mashal Masih. But like when it comes to these things, somehow the Muslim inside me comes back, and I have to say MashaAllah, because this is beautiful. So because Muslim thinks that everything that happens because of Allah. So Allah is destroying his own prophet right now as we speak. If Allah even existed. Yes, sister, sorry about that.
Well, it is not good to hear this as a Muslim. We know that it is painful. All the things you kind of told to follow. Without hadith, you cannot even be Muslim, all those kind of things. But so that's what he said. Painful, painful, painful. Painful. Let's continue.
At this stage of my life, I will have to say, this is what I say as a believer, not as an academic. At this stage. And if somebody proves me wrong, then I would love to come across that and say, no, we can prove academically. Because here's the point. We can academically prove, by and large.
He's going to go into a rant of something else.
The words that
All you're happy to do is
sorry.
Solid given.
Sorry,
right?
my
the
fault.
wordings of the Quran, by and large, we can academically. Of course, believers, we say from Allah.
Okay,
got stuck.
Sorry.
Okay, now, that last part is very important because...
Do you mind if I just, brother, do you mind if I just go back and then play that again?
Yes, please, and stop at the end of that sentence, because then we can bring Abu Mussab instead of finishing that at this time. Because this is very important. So what he said, and let sister play it again, is very important for everybody, because after this sentence, if any Muslim mufti, and I said, I have seen almost over 12 of them. I won't count them as 12. Maybe they are like one less than 12, or maybe one or two more than 12. For me, it doesn't make sense why they are saying what they're saying about this guy. After you hear this sentence, please, sister, once more.
Back to some tabi'un.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the max you can say. As for definitively stating that the hadith go back to the Prophet ﷺ, at this stage of my life, I will have to say, this is what I say as a believer, not as an academic. at this stage. And if somebody proves me wrong, then I would love to come across that and say, no, we can prove academically. Because here's the point. We can academically prove, by and large, that the Prophet ﷺ preached the Quran, the words that
the Prophet ﷺ preached the Quran. Pause it. We can academically prove he preached the Quran. We will go into that later. But he is saying, sister, if somebody comes up, give him the evidence, he's going to change his views. Have you seen anyone who has given him the evidence, sister, so far? No. Perfect. So if nobody has the evidence, why are they cursing him? That's my simple question. Think about it, everyone. I don't know. I think Sister Hatun is. Oh, no, she's not stuck. Oh, sister, you have a capability to stay still for some time, for a very long time. Wow.
What did I miss? You? I wasn't able to hear you.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. So I said, like, if nobody has the evidence of what he is saying to prove him wrong, where he said that if somebody gives him the evidence, he's going to change his views, then why do you think these people have the audacity to say anything about him?
Well, you would expect they will come up with the evidence, right?
So that he will have the evidence and everybody else who's looking for the evidence will have the evidence.
Yes.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so they have the evidence. Maybe even though Yasir Qadhi graduated from College of Hadith and then studied at Yale, he was going to do his PhD. Maybe he didn't come across with that evidence. And sometimes it happens in a human world. You want to hold all the information to yourself. You don't want to share it. So maybe Muslims are just waiting for Yasir Qadhi to say, like, bring me evidence and then I'll change my view. So therefore, they are going to put up the evidence and then try to convince Yasir Qadhi to not only change his view, because he will change by default. He made that such a promise, and we know Muslims keep their promises. Not only he will change his view, but he will make a video to kind of unpack why and how he changed his view. He might even write a book about it, how he was convinced that Hadith goes back to Muhammad academically.
Absolutely, absolutely. Before you go into the next segment, because over there we will have to say a lot of things, because now he's going to say something about Quran, and for that J. Smith is best. You already done that video, but can you bring up Mussab now? Because like this segment is done. Now he's going in a different direction about Quran. So what do you think? You wanna play the rest of the part, or do you wanna go into the Abu Mussab now?
I'll just summarize. So he's gonna say Quran goes back to Muhammad. We can goes back to Uthman, actually Uthmanic ascension. We can academically prove that. Actually, that is historically and academically false. So I am assuming that at this stage, Yasir Qadhi doesn't have access to latest research, because Muslim talks about, yeah, there is. So Muhammad dies. They don't have Quran. Quran is being compiled under the Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr dies, and then Uthman steps in. Uthman orders every Quran to be burned, and then he compiles his Quran. Once I'm just giving you the summary. There are lots of details and like problems we need to think through, but this is the summary. Uthman orders Quran to be compiled, while order everything written down to be burned. He sends copy of the Quran to different cities. So Muslims have been telling us for decades the copies Uthman sent to the different cities, we do have those copies in Topkapı and in other places. And then last couple of years, Muslim scholars, not someone else, within the House of Islam, Muslim scholars stepped in and then expressed, we do not have the copy of the Uthman's Quran. The Quran which Uthman gathered, we don't have that Quran. And up to today, tomorrow something might change, but up to today, that there is no Quran from the time of Muhammad, from the time of Uthman, that matches exactly with the current Quran Muslims are reading. So he's making historical mistakes and academical mistakes in his next statements, but overall, he kind of confirmed to us that Hadith does not go back to Muhammad, and historically, no one kind of believes that anymore. Not anymore, actually. They never
This is
believed it.
this is beautiful, sister. So you actually summarized this last part beforehand, but so now what he's going to say, what he said is like trying to cover up what he already said in some way or form, because he said that we know academically that Muhammad preached the words of Quran. Now this is so if none of the hadiths goes back to Muhammad, how do you academically prove that Muhammad preached the Quran? Like he this is called an oxymoron statement where his previous statements, what he said, disproves his final statement, because all of this thing that Muhammad preached Quran are in hadiths, and he said none of the hadiths goes back to Muhammad. So if none of them goes back to Muhammad, then academically, how do you prove that Muhammad was preaching Quran? But like that's less than oxymoron statement, and that's why I said like let's not go in there. Let's finish this part. But like you have done this video in with Jay Smith. I was watching it the other day. He he stated certain things where I kind of disagree with him on how he defended Yasir Qadhi. Just those statements. Like I disagree when he was like, "Oh no, you would do this as well." So Jay Smith, like, come on, man, please don't give him the respect which he is not deserving of. But rest of the thing, I agree with Jay Smith. So let's go on.
Go on with Yasir Qadhi's video.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
You wanted to show it on his channel? That
No.
he just put it yesterday?
No. So let me just finish the video
Mhm.
which we were watching.
Right? The wordings of the Quran, by and large, we can academically, of course, believers, we say that from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the academy has pretty much proven scientifically, I mean, through the historical critical method, that there's an Uthmanic Mus'haf.
Yeah.
That much is beyond reasonable doubt. And the fact
Really?
that there's an Uthmanic Mus'haf, we're talking about senior companions all being alive,
No.
right? So by and
No.
large, the normative interpretation of the modern academy is that
Doesn't matter. First of all, they were not alive. I want to focus on the hadith part, but like it's just gently forcing me. Okay. Not all of these kind of big chunk of the senior companions were not alive. Okay. Sake of the argument, let give that to you. Remember, Abu Bakr is already dead, Umar is already dead, all those kind of things. While the ones are alive, when Muhammad says, take the Quran from this person, Ibn Masud, Ubay bin Ka'b, how come we don't have their Quran? Like, is not so Islamic tradition, which you are just telling us, actually, it's not trustworthy, it is being discredited. That very Islamic tradition tells us Ibn Masud had different numbers of the surahs in his Quran. Ubay bin Ka'b had different numbers of the surahs in his Quran. So they were disagreeing with one another, including Zayd bin Thabit, regarding the Quran. So because someone is alive, that doesn't mean they put their stamp on Uthman's Quran. So that's like, at this stage, I believe that was intentional misguiding, because this is the very gentleman 5 years ago in June expressed that standard narrative has holes in its stuff. So he should be knowing that better. But anyway.
No, let me give one single answer, one single statement. He said just right now, Uthmani Quran. He used the word Uthmani Quran. All right. He just discredited all the hadiths. He just already did that. So can he show me academically an Uthmanic Quran? So he cannot. Like okay,
They are
so, like
depend on the hadith. They
yeah,
are depend on the hadith, which he says, well, for sure we don't know if this is Muhammad said.
exactly. So he depends on the hadith to talk about Uthmani Quran, and then he said, "Oh, we know the Quran is there." So this is like I said before, it's an oxymoron statement of his. He is trying to now defend some part of Islam by saying these words after he said all of the hadiths are destroyed. So he just not only destroyed these, in reality, he destroyed Quran as well. But now he's trying to safeguard some of his iman and some of the iman of the other people.
What would you say when someone says, so the chain of narration is basically interviewing someone who is considered reliable, who said remember something else said and consider reliable. That's not the case. That's not the case. So, do you want to make a comment on that before I kind of comment on it?
So this Pol guy is a I think Pakistani Indian or Indian or Pakistani, something like that, because I have seen him in my other channels as well. If I'm mistaken, please correct me, Mr. Pol. The problem with this is that not one person who you think is reliable is saying something. That one person said that somebody of his father's age said this to him, and somebody of his father's age heard this from somebody of that's father age, and that third somebody has heard this information from somebody of somebody's father's age person, and then that somebody heard it from some Sahabi who is the companion of Muhammad, and that companion of Muhammad actually heard it from Muhammad. Now you are looking at least 6 or 7 generations to finally state something which you write in 2 pages, 3 pages, sometimes even 4 or 5 pages of a full paragraph. And you think that in 4 or 5 generations, after 4 or 5 generations, those 2 pages long hadiths, or even a page long, or even a paragraph long hadith, is preserved word by word. Man, I'm amazed that you actually believe this. Like I'm simply amazed, sister.
Just a second. Just a second, brother.
Sure, please take your time. So what I'm saying is very simple, that like when you do Chinese whisper, you must have seen those games where somebody is standing in the first row and they are not looking at the person and they are doing some gestures or something like that. Like those Chinese whisper kind of examples are, you can actually go to very closely what the first person did at the end. You can. But in 300 years, without any written material, you cannot say something going back reliably to the person who said something 300 years ago. Let me ask you something simple. 300 years ago, if right now in today's generation, let's say somebody has said something in the start of 1850, without that thing written, do you think somebody if has said something without writing it down, you would have it as is? It's not possible.
Okay, so back in 1775, okay, Ahmed, okay, 1775, Ahmed told Ali something, okay? Ali told Aisha something. Aisha is the next generation. Or actually, let me do it differently. So, 2025, we need to go back to 1775, okay? We need almost 10 people all together within the line. In 2025, Adam is gonna say, I heard this from Mahmoud, okay? Mahmoud lived just beginning of 2000. Adam says also Mahmoud heard this from Ahmed. Ahmed lived in 1980. Ahmed heard this from someone who lived in 1950. That somebody heard something from someone in 1920. That person heard that thing from someone 1890. That person heard that from someone in 1850. That person heard that from someone in 1820. That person heard that from someone in 1800. That person heard that from someone in 1775. All together, 10 people are, one person is saying, I heard this from these 10 people, and then in 2025 it goes back to 1775 what I heard. But there is no one can confirm that what I am telling you is actually what has been said to me 250 years ago, or what I have seen in 250 years ago, because everyone is dead. So there is no way for you to trace that back. When you think about, Adam was talking about Chinese whispering. In that game, there is an almost amazing advantage of that. When the game finishes, you turn to the last person. Tell me what you heard. Oh, you heard Adam is amazing. You turn to the first person and then say, is that what you were told? No, first person is going to say, oh no, my mom cooked falafel for lunch. That's what I passed it around. So you can confirm, and then you can check the people and then figure out what they heard along the way. By the time it end up in the last person as Adam is amazing, because you started with my mom cooked falafel. But when it comes to the isnad, there is no way we can do that. There are no separate writings tells us, okay, he's this guy, it's telling us this, giving us this information 20 years after Muhammad. There is no outside information tells us, okay, these three people were saying the same thing 50 years after death of Muhammad. So that's the first thing regarding whether they are reliable or not. What does consider is reliable is very, very different. So there is man called Hafs. Hafs is a thief. He stole from people. Hafs is identified as liar. Therefore, they told us, they are telling us, we cannot have Hafs narrations in Hadith, because this guy is thief and this guy is liar. Makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
Yet, he is the one, today, 90% Muslim world is reciting his Quran. So they rejected him when it comes to the Hadith, but when it came to the Quran, he's very reliable.
Oh, he's
So
very
when
reliable for the Quran, sister, because he was a perfect thief. That's why he's
that's all, like, you are
sorry.
thief, you are liar. So when it comes to the Quran, you suddenly all your character changed. It doesn't make that much sense. So from one perspective, you can kind of think, okay, because Hadith is more authoritative than the Quran, therefore they rejected a thief and a liar. Quran is not as important as Hadith, but Quran is the one where Muslims recite every day. It affects their eternity, all that, like very word of Allah, so-called very word of Allah. And very word of Allah is being given to us today from a liar and thief. That's just like doesn't make that much sense to me. But anyway, when it comes to it's not like all that reliable word is just like playing around. When
And
it
I have
comes,
to I have to say something over here as well, sister. Just last sentence to add in. And you don't even have the Hafs Quran.
yeah,
So once again over there is also a chain of narration. So somebody wrote the Quran after the death of Hafs, associated to Hafs. So imagine even the Quran has chain of narration, and those chain of narration doesn't even make sense. And like imagine if you do not have the Quran of Hafs. Imagine for the sake of argument, and we close our mind and we accept whatever the Sunni narration is about the perfect preservation of the Quran, where there are so many holes according to Yasir Qadhi. You don't even have the Hafs's Quran to validate and verify that this is exactly what he wrote in Quran, sister.
yeah. And the current Quran, which they say, okay, this kind of Hafs Quran, we don't have the original, and we don't have any manuscripts within first 3 centuries, matches with the exactly Quran we are reading. Also, in the chains of Hafs, you've got people who were officially disagreeing with one another what's supposed to be in the Quran. So there are lots of creepy things, but our topic is not the Quran. So the point Yasir Qadhi is making is, point Yasir Qadhi is making is simply we cannot historically say what we are reading in Hadith is exactly what Muhammad said.
Beautiful.
Not good for
Beautiful.
Muslims. Did you want me to continue on this, or?
No, I was already done. You
Okay.
opened this subject of the Quran, which I was thinking not to open at this moment in
Yeah,
time, but we
yeah,
did
me
that.
too.
I think you like the topic of Quran so much. You have already done so many streams on it.
Like it's something I invested quite a lot. But also, like, yeah, he's saying like something truth about Hadith, but that doesn't mean we are gonna let him get away with the lies about the Quran. So,
Perfect.
yeah. Why do you want to take time and then say quick thanks to some of the super chats are coming to you, brother? I want to check something. Why? Oh, no.
I don't.
I was thinking what I'm going to do now. Okay. So
Okay.
Yasir Qadhi put up this video come to public almost 3 weeks ago now. Okay.
Mhm.
Second week of this month. And then 2 days ago, the video went up on Yasir Qadhi's YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I was showing it at this moment.
Let's see, something interesting in that YouTube channel just happened. So
Oh,
when the live stream was happening, I was listening. Its reputation sometimes is good, and then people were writing comments, all those kind of things. And after the live stream, when I checked the comments part, there were few comments. Okay, and now when you go to his channel to see the video, what do we see, brother?
there you go. Let me show it to you, sister. Share screen, and here we go.
Go a little bit down.
You wanna see the comments part?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just do this, and let's go to comment.
Comments are turned off.
Okay. Yeah.
Why?
No.
What do you remember another video that Yasir Qadhi turned off the comments?
I have not seen any yet.
You did, brother. Come on. Holes in the narrative.
Oh, but like he deleted it. Is it still there now? He deleted it.
No. First, he turned off the comments. And
Yeah.
then he deleted the video.
Makes sense. So
Yeah.
he first turned off the comment. I'm so sorry. I was like, that was the time in 2020 where things I was not following him so much. It's holes in the narrative I heard from somebody else, and then I was like, what's happening? So by the time it happened, he already deleted his video, and I got the video from some other people and all. But the beautiful part is, so do you think that this video will be deleted and the history will repeat itself?
I don't know. I just find it strange because so I can't put this on the thing because I don't know how to link my phone to the computer. But as I was listening, you can see like people are writing comments on there. But now the comments are turned off. I listened to the video, the part where he talks about it doesn't go back to Muhammad, historically discredit. All that part is in the video. It's just the part comments are not there. So he took down the comments.
Beautiful. That is lovely. And by the way, I would like to thank my audience who's in my channel giving super chats and all. And thanks, Jennifer, for such a huge contribution. Appreciate it.
Would you like me to put them on the screen for you to thank them, or?
Yeah, if sure, let's do that before we go to the
Okay,
dirty part.
Yeah, I'll go with the order they came in.
So love back is translated as love back to Adam. Thank you so very much, Mr. Gandabacha. Blackpink, appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Anish became a member. Thank you, sir. SN, Adam bhai, पूरे वर्ल्ड में इस्लाम को नंगा करो. He's saying make Islam go naked in front of the world. I'm sorry, sister is having some cough time. Blackpink, appreciate it. She needs some medicines. And Bharosewala, thanks a lot, appreciate it. And Jennifer with a very red super chat. Appreciate it, sister. You're always a big support. Thanks a lot. Viger, thank you, buddy. He's a moderator as well, and he has traveled across our solar system and took the picture of our blue dot, which we call Earth. That Allah had no idea about the rest of the planets, but he proved that there are other planets. So thank you, Viger. He said first it was holes in the narrative, but now it seems the narrative has a black hole on.
Yeah, it's as bad as Swiss cheese. But I think some of your hadiths were not very true, brother. How
Oh,
can historically prove to us that brother uh, went to take a picture of the universe from somewhere else?
oh, there's no reliability of that picture, sister.
Don't know, brother. Don't know. I don't see that as evidence.
Yeah, because there is no other satellite who actually saw Voyager. By the way, there is one. So when Voyager was flying away from our galaxy, the Hubble telescope knew, and we could see Voyager flying out. Unfortunately, nobody can say that for Hadith, sister. So, when, like you said, when there's no reliability to verify and validate that actually that happened. But like when it comes to Voyager, at least. And the Hubble telescope could see Voyager.
Yep. Okay, so as Yasir Qadhi kind of put a public challenge, he's willing to be corrected when people prove that Hadith goes back to Muhammad. This is actually what Muhammad said. And there are some Muslims kind of stand up for this challenge, stand up to challenge, and then made their case. So we are gonna go to Abu Mussab, who is gonna kind of meet with the challenge, or is he gonna meet with the
Wow.
challenge?
Wow. But before Chester plays this video, if anybody has a soft heart and does not want to hear the beautiful words, now is the time to reduce the volume a little. Please, sister.
Yeah, it's not only reducing the volume, but also please give attention. So this is a Muslim is talking about another Muslim. I remember, I think it was one of our live stream we did together, Adam. You were talking about, we were discussing the unity within Muslims, within Islam. And then you expressed that even at the end, there is only one Muslim, left hand and right hand is going to fight with one another regarding which is the truth one. So there is amazing Muslim kind of sells Islam. They sell Islam as, oh, there is full unity. It is amazing, all those kind of things. But this is the way they talk to one another. This is the way they complement one another. This is the way they express their love towards one another. I want everyone to give full attention. It's going to be disturbing, but it's good to bring those things to our attention because nothing is done that is not Islamic.
And this is something that these people are seeing in the West now, because the West doesn't have a lot of Muslims so far. Now, Britain has so many, so hence you will see that more often. But I grew up listening to these kind of abuses from different Muslims in Pakistan. For example, Barelvi would say that to Deobandis, and Deobandis will say that to Barelvis, and then uh, you will have Shias saying something to the Sunnis, and then Sunnis saying something to the Shias, and then so on and so forth. And even the subcategories of Deobandis will going to, for example, Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah will abuse dramatically using even the private parts of the females. Um, to describe a scholar of the other sect of Islam. And I, I had heard these statements from the scholars who are standing inside the mosque, and they are using these kind of languages to describe an other human being, and not just another human being, an other Islamic scholar. You are now witnessing that over here in the West, because the West now has Islamic population, and you will hear that more often.
Yeah.
Sister, you're on mute.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on with it. Ready, people?
So after his outstanding stunt, which gave ammunition to the kuffar to belittle Islam and to make fun of the Quran and its preservation, when he claimed that there are some loopholes in the preservation of the Quran, now he has gone to attack the Sunnah of Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the entire science of Hadith, because of the epistemology of the Kuffar's standards.
Kuffar standard, hold on.
According to them, the Hadith is not
Kuffar standard. Okay. Sister, isn't that the same standard that they use by themselves to verify any person in the history?
Yeah.
The Kuffar standard that is. So if this person has to go and find who Pluto was, will he use the Hadith sciences to figure out who Pluto was, or will he use the historical critical method that he said Kuffar sciences?
Was it not Mr. Barterman who said he cannot trust the Quran when it comes to the historical things because of the historical event regarding the crucifixion of Jesus?
Oh,
So,
and by the way, I need to thank your country's part-time stripper on that, because he invited him thinking that Brad Ehrman will say things about
oh yeah,
Jesus. Yeah, this his Bart Ehrman's these sentences are stated in the your country's part-time strippers broom face guy. That's what I call him, and that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Like, um, uh, but like this is the reality, sister. Unfortunately, these guys have nothing remaining.
brother, are you able to tell me what is on the screen he's got? I think this is like it says
Let
tafsir,
me ju- let me just move into the big screen.
Asadi tafsir. Uh, I think this is the surah he's gonna talk about it. Um, but just wanted to check with you.
Yeah, this is a tafsir, but it's too small for me to
Read.
read the
Okay.
Arabic part.
Yeah.
Inna ba'dal okay. Yeah, so this is the tafsir, and yeah, something.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure like he didn't write there like find the tafsir which talks about how Yasir Qadhi is gonna say these kind of things. Just wanted to check.
No. He okay. No, he did not bring that up. I think he was talking about something, and then I think the subject might have come up, or what? I don't know.
Yeah, he's gonna talk about how this what Yasir Qadhi does is like being pre-told.
substantiated, cannot be validated, and it means nothing. It cannot be authenticated or verified. So once again, he is putting Islam or throwing Islam and the Muslims under the bus, all for him to show himself to be a person of intellect and a person of academia and a person who's like the unique human being Allah created, who happens to be standing at the equator of Islamic science and the Western academia. He's like the only person in the world. This is the message you receive. He's the only person in the world who's in this very unique predicament and situation where he's able to see both epistemologies and both spectrums and both worlds, and the rest of the world, the rest of the Muslims and the rest of the non-Muslims, nobody basically is in his unique situation.
Okay.
Wow. Tell us what we are saying that we don't have clue, and then enlighten us. Fill the holes.
So the part that I can read, which he has highlighted in yellow, I can read Surah Hujurat, as on the second page on the right corner. So there's a tafsir of Surah Hujurat. I don't know which verse it is. And the yellow highlighted part is the hadith that says something to the extent that the Muslims should avoid assuming something negatively about another Muslim, even if somebody is doing a sin. And you should not say anything in behind another Muslim, even if that Muslim is eating the flesh of his brother, or to an extent that if you say something, you are eating the flesh of the brother. So, so basically, what he is doing is he's saying that, like what he has on the screen, representing to the Muslims and telling to the people that our Prophet supposedly said, do not say things, even though that you know that he is doing something bad. Do not say anything bad about your fellow brother.
Yeah.
But sister, now this is another oxymoron thing. Every single thing that these guys do, they're doing it in a perfect, like, I had no idea what oxymoron statement is 5 years ago, until I figured out that everything Islamic preacher will say will be an oxymoron statement. So he's bringing up this hadith where Muhammad is saying, don't say anything bad about your brother who's a Muslim behind his back, or you are eating the flesh of the brother, of your own brother. Now he is saying something behind the back of his Muslim brother Yasir Qadhi and abusing him, and he is doing the exact opposite of what he is showing on the screen. How does that make sense, sister?
It is called hypocrisy.
MashaAllah. Subhanallah. That's makes perfect sense. Hypocrite. Munafiqat. Very
Yeah.
well said.
So Abu Mussab is not happy that Yasir Qadhi thinks he's the center of the universe, and then he's making claims to not only throw Islam under bus, but also he's throwing Muslims under the bus. I love his pink glasses. Like, it suits very well with his brownish pinkish top. What do you think?
I am not the kind of a person who looks at men with such detail.
I don't
But
know why not, brother, because like it is very kind of attention grabbing that Muslim man decides to wear pink glasses.
yeah, but like now that you actually said that, and I look at his face, you might have seen some cartoons where there is a pink piggy, the piggy bank pink piggy. So now if I look at just the face, it reminds me of the pink piggies that they have in cartoons. Let me. I don't have any pink piggy that I know who wears pink glasses, but I have pink piggy who wears black glasses. Do you want to see that by any chance?
Sure. It's just like I find, let's use the word unique. A Muslim man with pink glasses.
Unique.
Yeah.
That's
That's
a
the
pretty.
word I am gonna use it. Otherwise, yeah. See, we've got even people who like seeing men in a pink. Yeah.
Yes,
This is not
there.
he's like wearing pink glasses. I
Yeah,
bet he's got videos about critiquing LGBT stuff.
there are very strange people in this world, but this kind of tops it. So yeah, that's like he's a little more pinkier than the guy that you're showing, but very close.
Glasses changes it all. Okay, let's continue with on a serious side of it. I just thought it's different. It's kind of unique to see a Muslim man with the pink glasses, but yeah.
So for that self verification, for that self admiration, for him to insist on being controversial and presenting himself as a very genuine, humble, kind person, he is allowing every deviant person to attack now after the Quran, the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
After the Quran.
And this is why the Prophet
Yeah, he did the Quran 5 years ago, and now he's attacking the Sunnah. And according to Abu Musad, he's doing this because he wants to be controversial.
So
The
he did not provide any evidence what Yasir Qadhi is seeking.
We don't know yet, brother. Video is 7 minutes 56 seconds, and he just spoke 1 minute 58 seconds so far. As we heard, he was making amazing theological points, but he has not come to the point where he's gonna debunk Yasir Qadhi. You never know, like surprises, brother. Be ready. Like Muslims are very good at providing evidences. You know that.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, they are awesome in providing evidences. I fully agree with you on that. They're
Yeah.
awesome.
Just remember, Yasir Qadhi's challenge is, I am ready to be corrected if you prove other way. Bring your evidence. I am ready to be corrected. 1 minute 58 seconds. We are still waiting for the evidence.
And this is why the Prophet ﷺ in a hadith which was authenticated by some of the ulama, even though that hadith is da'if, but with the accumulation.
Oh my goodness. So the best response is from a hadith which is da'if.
That identified as not fully trustworthy. It passed the test, but it is not 100%. It is like pass with C grade. So not A plus, but C.
Or C negative, or even D to some extent.
Yeah.
So so he's going to defend his point by
With a very
using a Zaif hadith. And if, by the way, sister, if any of us uses a Zaif hadith, do you think what these Muslims will actually say to us? Oh, this is Zaif, this is Zaif. Oh, we don't accept that. This is Zaif, this is Zaif. And this guy is proving the hadith literature by using a Zaif hadith.
Okay, so I haven't been to the College of Hadith in Medina, but Sahih Bukhari itself has 7,275 hadiths. Muslim has quite a lot of hadiths. Ibn Majah has quite a lot of hadiths. So that, you've got like lots of hadiths, okay?
You have like 40,000 plus Sahih hadiths that he could have used.
Yeah, you couldn't find any, like, you are debunking a scholar who is telling, well, hadith is not trustworthy. And then you are using kind of hadith not 100% trustworthy, but pass the test to make your case.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah,
Wisdom.
MashaAllah.
That's the wisdom.
Wisdom of Allah. That is the wisdom Allah gave to these Muslims, not to us, because we don't believe in Allah.
Yeah, so he's in minute 2, he's preparing to debunk Yasir Qadhi with a da'if hadith. Let's go.
And this is why the Prophet ﷺ in a hadith which was authenticated by some of the ulama, even though that hadith is da'if, but with the accumulation of other hadith that strengthen it, when the Prophet ﷺ said, I believe to Abu Dharr, that do you know what I fear for you more than the Dajjal? What does he fear for the Muslims more than the Dajjal? Al-a'immat al-mudallin, the imams that will misguide the people. And another hadith said, أَخْوَفُ مَا أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ الْأَئِمَّةَ الْمُضِلِّينَ. The thing I fear the most for you or for my ummah, أَخْوَفُ مَا أَخَافُ عَلَى أُمَّتِي, is الْأَئِمَّةَ الْمُضِلِّينَ, these misguiding, deviant, wicked imams, such as Yasir Qadhi.
Okay. When I heard Yasir Qadhi, and we all heard Yasir Qadhi, he said, according to his faith, he believes the hadiths. So why is he misguided or deviant? He is not talking as an imam when he said that none of the hadith goes back to Muhammad. He said, according to the academic criteria of historical criticism, none of the hadith goes back to Muhammad. But as a Muslim, he believes that they goes back to Muhammad. So why his Islamic scholarship is in question right now, according to Abu Musa?
Well, It's not only that the daif hadith that he's using to justify his views is states, oh, you've got imams who are going to misguide the ummah. I think he's looking at holes in the narrative interview, looking at Yasir Qadhi on Yajuj and Majuj, looking at Yasir Qadhi on like praying to dead, all those kind of things.
And Islam spread by force.
Yeah, all that. And now, yeah, he's deviant and wicked. But overall, like deep down, because he walked out of Salafism. So that's kind of why the Salafi Muslims are attacking him. So far, do you feel he's like preparing to meet up with Yasir Qadhi's challenge?
Absolutely not, because so far he never said anything. Hey, I'm gonna prove you wrong. There you go. This is the evidence. So I don't think in the next 5 minutes he will do anything like that. Please continue. Let's prove me wrong, please.
Yeah, 2 minutes 53 seconds, and all he did was calling Yasir Qadhi with names and then using daif hadith to help others to call Yasir Qadhi names. So far, nothing meets with the challenge Yasir Qadhi put forward. Remember, Yasir Qadhi is willing to change his view. He's willing to change his view. Just provide the evidence for him.
Those are the enemies of Islam. Wallahi, perhaps greater than the Jews and the Christians and the Hindus combined.
Mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. That is a
Yasir Qadhi is so powerful. Put all Jews and Christians together. Yasir Qadhi is even more powerful than them. Why? Because he said Hadith does not go back to Muhammad. We cannot be sure historically if this is exactly what Muhammad said.
wow, wow. And by the way, have you noticed this recently that they are adding Hindus in their sentences, which they have never done that before 2025? Maybe some
Yeah,
of the Westerners have done that,
yeah,
but
not couple of
so
years.
so basically now in 2025 they are adding Hindus in their sentences, and because ex-Muslims are growing rapidly in India, and a lot of Hindus are so frustrated by these Muslims in India, just like the Britons, the white people of the Britain living there for so long and now being um, abused by these people, and now the Hindus are in the same sentence.
Yeah,
This is crazy.
it's like as you expressed, like there is a there are things happening in India also. You need to get credit for that as this as well. You've got like very very powerful ministry in Pakistan and in India part of the world. So Lord is using you there, and you are helping Muslims to extend their sentence and then put Hindus there.
Oh yes,
You need to take some responsibility for that.
sister, you are putting a very big responsibility. So
Anyway,
you're claiming that this is because of me that
no, I'm
these
not saying
Hindus are being abused by the Muslims?
no. I'm not saying this is because of you. I'm just saying your ministry is causing Muslims to become ex-Muslims.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
now Muslims are actively aware of what's happening in that part of the world. And they see that other ideologies in that area is as a threat. So that's very normal.
Wow, wow.
Well, 3 minutes, 8 seconds. No response yet. Let's give him chance. He's got
Praise the
still
Lord.
4 minutes, 4 minutes to speak.
No matter how much they bark, and no matter how much they freak out, and no matter how much Islamophobia they promote, and no matter how much propaganda they put forward, and no matter how much they attack Islam, we don't care. We don't care, and we pay them no mind. They're a bunch of kuffar. They will roast in hell bi'idhnillah. And we will be happy and pleased when we see them roast in hell eternally bi'idhnillah.
I would like to say something.
Y-
Doesn't matter if you I find this part is kind of concerning, because God of Bible expresses that he doesn't want anyone to be perished. So by default, one of the things we do is, like, when you are walking on the street and then you see there is car accident, you just step in to try to help. When you see someone is trying to jump from the bridge, you stop your car and then try to help. When you see someone is just like try to swim but can't swim, I forgot the word, drowning in the water, you step in to save that person, and you don't look in a way what your first question is not like, oh, what is his or her ideology. You just like, okay, someone needs help, let me provide help, I can step in. So it's the same mindset. We look at Muslims and then we see heart of God towards them. God doesn't want them to be perished. He steps in to rescue humanity. So we step in and then we tell them, we expose their ideology, and we preach glorious gospel of Lord Jesus Christ so that they can make informed decision. It is very difficult for us to kind of sit at home, put your feet up, and then say, oh, I don't care, they are Muslim. That is very difficult, because we see heart of God. We've got God who is missionary God. So therefore, I am like listening this, and then he just like, oh yeah, I will be happy to watch the kafirs are cooking in hell. Yet you are making lots of money. Your dawa gangs are making lots of money simply trying to sell Islam to kafirs. Actually, you don't care about them. You don't care about their soul. You just care about yourself. Therefore, you are saying these things. Therefore, you are trying to kind of lie to non-Muslims so that they take their shahada, and then you move on from that. You don't care about their soul. Versus, as I said, as a Christian, we read the scripture and then we find it's very painful to just like put your feet up and then not bother with what's happening in the world, because we know that's break the heart of God. God looks down and then he sees people are suffering, he concerns for them. Next thing he does is step in to rescue and redeem them. So that's how we look at the world. Like, we don't look at them, oh yeah, let them go to hell and then cook, and then I will be watching and then like enjoying with my ice cream. That's not the case. But it's good to see the heart of Muslims. Heart of Muslims are, they do not care about you as non-Muslim, as well as they, like in this video we are also seeing, they do not care about their beloved Muslim brothers either. If they don't care about them, they're not going to care about me anyway.
And you know, sister, this teaching comes from the Quran.
Yeah.
Quran chapter number 7, verse number 179. Allah says that we have certainly created for hell many of the jinns and mankind.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you know, the Qaulul Haq, the word, the true word of Christ is He's love. God is love, and He's here to save each and every human. But you know what Allah says? His Qaulul Haq is in chapter number 16, verse number 93. Allah said, if Allah willed, He could have made you one,
Yeah.
but He causes you to astray whom He wills and guides whom He wills. Because why? Why? Because the true word from Him will come in effect in chapter number 32, verse number 13. We could have guided every soul is guidance, but the word from me will come into effect that I will surely fill hell with jinn and mankind altogether. The problem is very simple, sister. Allah's true word is not to fill the heaven with jinn and mankind. I challenge every single Muslim to read every single word of the Quran and give me his true word that he is going to fill heaven or the Jannah, Islamic Jannah, with mankind and jinn. The only time that you will see the Qaulul Haq is in two locations, chapter number 32, verse number 13, and chapter number 11, verse number 119. And both of the time, Allah is saying His true word is, I will surely fill hell with jinn and men together. That's the true word. So, sister, if some kind of creature will say this, Isn't these the words of the Satan in the Bible, kind of a way, in a twisted form, that he wants to fill his hell?
God of Bible says he created hell for devil and its companions, versus you are reminding us that Allah created hell for jinn and mankind. Um, like I have no, like I know, like nothing said. I went through this video. I put shorter version of this. Like he's not doing or saying anything that against Islam, but just listening that normal human beings and then try seeing like the dawah they are trying to do is shows you they don't care about you, versus we go out to engage with non-Christians because we know our God cares for their soul. We care for them. Just like very different way, just kind of reminds you how good our God is, that we are not part of that junk anymore.
Praise be to Lord for that we are out of this junk.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue.
As Allah promised us, that the believers will be laughing at the kuffar. هل ثوب الكفار ما كانوا يفعلون? Did they get what they deserve? It's gonna come. I'm not tripping. You shouldn't be tripping either. It will come bi'idhnillah. We just pray and beg Allah that we die as believers. And if Allah doesn't have it meant for them to be guided, we still wish guidance for them, then they will get what they deserve.
I would like to add humble statement of Abu Bakr. One of the Sahaba is where Salafis have quite a lot of respect. Even if my 1 foot is in paradise, I would not feel safe from the deception of Allah. Dear Abu Mussab, even if his 1 foot is in paradise, father-in-law of Muhammad, your first caliph, doesn't feel safe from the deception of Allah. And you just like, yeah, in paradise, while we are dealing with all those virgins, we will have time to laugh at the people in Jahannam, in hell. And you pray that you die as a believer. Even if you die as a believer, you are not guaranteed paradise. You are going to suffer in hell for a while, according to Allah. And then you make your way to paradise after all that cooking and all that chopping, all that more cooking. Wonderful ideology.
And have you heard about the people called Jahannamiyun in the Hadith?
People of the hell?
Jahannamiyun. So there are certain people which will be put in hell for a very long time. Very, very long. And when they will be brought out of that hell, their body will be so burned that when Allah will put them in the
Paradise.
in the water of recreation, all right. So there's a pond in which they will be put in, so that their body will come back, all right. But they will have some signs of burning for every single Muslim to remember that. This is in Bukhari, if I'm not mistaken. And they will be called the Jahannamiyun, the people of the hell that are in heaven now. They'll be called Jahannamiyun. So imagine in heaven, sister, there will be a guy next to you whom you know for sure has been punished by Allah and is called Jahannamiyun. Isn't that an insult?
Say the last sentence again.
I said, isn't it it's a big insult that you will be called Al-Jahannamiyun in the heaven, in Jannah?
First of all, clarification. I am not Muslim. I will never end up in Muslim paradise. I will never end up in Muslim paradise. The place I am going to end up is the bosom of the Father. And my all focus is my triune God. I don't care who is going to be next to me. But yeah, in practical sense, you think about the practical life, living life in Islamic paradise and in Islamic hell is not very nice.
Oh, okay.
People are
And then
think about, like, people are discussing, so how long were you in Jahannam? How long? Oh, what were the punishments you went through? What were you thinking in those sufferings? Like, let's talk about our past. Let's see who suffered more for what sin.
the problem is simple, that these people think going to hell is okay for some time. And that is why there is a lot of sin in in their countries and in between them, because they think that no matter how many sins we do, we will get some punishment for those sins. So we'll
Yeah.
be thrown in hell for some time where we will burn, but it will not be eternity. You know, uh, there is a Indian poet, uh, when India and Pakistan was one, and he described one of his poetry, and I don't remember the poetry correctly, but like he said, when you're sitting in a garden with flowers around you, you can stay there for hours and hours, and when you are supposed to get out, you'll feel like, oh, you just stayed here for a very short time. But sitting on a hot iron plate, every single moment seems like eternity. So,
If you think, like, practical side of it, when you are in pain, if that pain is only like for a minute, it's very painful, but it's for a minute. When you are describing that pain to the doctor, you are going on and on and on and on, and then at the end he says, so how long was that pain for? You're just like, oh, maybe 10-20 seconds or something, or maximum a minute. But even, like, because it's so painful, like eternity, like you are kind of, it's very long, you are kind of seeing that as very long pain, long punishment. So
absolutely, like when you sleep at night, you don't even remember when the night finishes, usually.
yeah, I
But
think that's not fair. You
that's
just
not fair.
fall asleep, and then, like, next time you open your eyes, just like it's morning. I didn't even have time to enjoy my sleep. I didn't even have time to rest in my sleep. And then when you have dream, like, no, it's just like I didn't enjoy my sleep. It's not fair.
And what if you have a toothache at night where the doctors are not present? The whole night seems like
Yep.
forever. It never
Yep.
even finishes.
Yep.
And you're waiting for 9 a.m., 10 a.m., where you can go to some doctor to ease your pain, get an injection or something. So the night never ends. It's
Yep.
like 3 a.m. and you're like, still 3 a.m. And it's just, so when you're in pain, every single moment is
Eternity.
crucial. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, if you don't have health insurance, you just continue with the pain until you get health insurance to go and fix that teeth. Oh, okay. Ready for Abu Musad while he's, like, sitting in Islamic paradise and laughing at the people, kafirs in hell.
Yes. Let's
It's
see.
even funny, like, Islamic paradise is so funny. You can just see what's happening in hell, like movie time. Guys, let's watch a movie. What are we watching? Let's watch the people of hell.
And let's enjoy with the popcorn and Pepsi.
Yeah.
This person who's dressed with the clothing of the people of Islam, who promotes himself as a traditional Orthodox Sunni, meanwhile promoting every principle that opposes the principles of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, then this is an enemy of Islam. And at this point, there is no husnul dhan regarding Yasir Qadhi. Just like,
Is he promoting or is he saying
He's
that,
insulting. He's insulting, brother. I know it's not coming like that, but yeah, he's doing insulting right now.
like, Husne Zan is like a good character. So he said like Yasir Qadhi has no
Good,
good
correct.
character. Husne Zan. So imagine he just put in some Arabic words in the middle of the sentence so that people will know what he's saying, like while he's talking in English. But like the problem here is Yasir Qadhi is not promoting. He was asked a question, just like the broom-faced guy, a part-time stripper in the UK, asked a question, enforced Yasir Qadhi to answer 5 years ago about the Quran. Same is the way over here. Those people who were academic, and he in the beginning of the video you heard that he said, yes, you guys are from the academic, you're coming in from the academic point of view. So he's answering. So what does he want? Like if somebody asks the question to a person, you shouldn't answer, or you should say, I'm not going to answer through academic point of view, and I'm just going to talk about Sunnah of Islam. Like
So
why?
he can't do that. Like I when so he's given platform in that channel is focused on academic. And in the beginning of the video, he's asking, okay, is this academic channel or what kind of channel is this? And then they're telling this is academic channel. And then he says, okay, so this is, I'm going to use that approach to kind of making sure like your audience are know that I'm dealing with academic people right now. So when you turn up those platforms and then they ask you question, as you said, you can't say like, oh, I don't know, because those people already know. You are graduated from Medina University in the College of Hadith. They already know your background. They read your book. So you need to answer the question. Of course, there are many different ways you can answer the question.
But I think Yasir Qadhi's answer was the most polite way of saying the thing that he said, while he kept the notion that if you can fix my understanding, I'm willing to take it. So he was not saying these things with an authority and saying, oh, nobody can do that.
Yeah. You
But
get to see the humbleness there.
yes,
Yeah. Well, clearly, Abu Musat, very humble guy, didn't see like that way.
Promoting every principle that of the people of Islam, who promotes himself as a traditional Orthodox Sunni, meanwhile promoting every principle that opposes the principles of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, then this is an enemy of Islam. And at this point, there is no husnul dhan regarding Yasir Qadhi. Just like there's no husnul dhan regarding Mufti Menk, and there's no husnul dhan regarding Nu'man Ali Khan, and there's no husnul dhan regarding Daniel Haqiqatchu, and there's no husnul dhan regarding these people that have proven themselves again and again to be wicked deviants that only care about their self-promotion, making money, and promoting their own wicked, twisted agenda. It's proven beyond a shadow of doubt.
Let me pause here. Adam Seeker, you read the Quran a couple of times, right?
not just couple. I
Be
read the
humble.
Quran so many times,
Okay.
I can't even count, because I had to finish the Quran according to my mama every Ramadan at least. That's one, and then obviously the rest of the year you actually do that. So I can't even count how many times I have
Okay.
finished it cover to cover.
I can see the humbleness in your voice, like Yasir Qadhi. I've got lots of ijazat. I don't even know how many. So you could be humble and then say yes few times. In that, lots of times you can't even count those. Would you be able to kind of tell me what does Islam teaches about the enemies of Islam? Because this Mr. Muslim is identifying another Muslim, Sheikh Yasir Qadhi, Sheikh Dr. Yasir Qadhi, as the enemy of Islam. What does Islam say about the enemy of Islam? Let's hug together and then have chai together?
Absolutely not. Absolutely, they are not just, by the way. That's point number one. But some of the Muslims who are listening to our live stream will say, no, there are certain verses where they are not considered this way. So yes, so there are two aspects in the Quran which are mingled up, and let me use the word mingled up, because unless you read the tafsir of those verses, you will not know which verse is coming at which era of Islam. So there are certain verses which are coming when Muhammad had like 10, 12 people, 14, 15, under 50 people, and all that, where the verses are a little polite for the non Muslims or the enemies of Islam. But then comes after the Hijrah, when the jihad was considered mandatory, and Allah said in the Quran, chapter number 8, that I know that you don't like fighting, but something that you don't like might be good for you, and something that you like might be bad for you. And after that, jihad was made compulsory. Things goes in a tangent, and then you have so many verses. Quran chapter number 5, verse number 32, 33, cut their hands and feet from the opposite side and kill them, crucify them, or O Muhammad, chapter 9, verse number 123, fight the people adjacent to you, and chapter number 9, verse number 92, where it says, "O Muhammad, fight the kuffar and the munafiqeen," means the Muslims who are 72, sorry, who are, even though that they are saying that they're Muslims, yet they are not Muslims. And then comes into chapter number 9, where Muhammad was asked not to offer the janaza prayer or the funeral prayer of a Muslim who is a hypocrite, munafiq, because Allah is not going to forgive them. So, like, if you look at the contextual, historical, sorry, course in course, Islamic historical context of the verses that have been revealed to Muhammad, the final marching order in the Quran is to destroy them, fight them, hate them, don't live with them, and if you are in power, you can kill them or ask them to be humble and give you money every single month or every year. That's what it is.
So calling someone enemy of Islam simply puts the life of other person in danger.
Absolutely to the point.
Abu Musad, you put Sheikh Yasir Qadhi's life in danger, and I'm sure you are very much aware of that.
Obviously, he is.
Yeah, even with the pink glasses.
No husn done for those people. So nobody come and say, Akhi, assume good. No, we've done assuming good.
Okay,
Allah doesn't tell us to assume good all the time.
okay, it's okay. Whatever you said, he just said it. No husne zan for these people
Yeah.
means no good
Can be found in-
character
Yeah.
that we have to show to these people. So he is calling out his own Muslim brothers and sisters that you are not going to show people like Yasir Qadhi any good character from yourself. Now he's not calling Yasir Qadhi that he doesn't have husn zan. He's saying as a Muslim, you are not going to show good character towards these people. You can rewind it a little and show that. Yes, sister, what you want to say?
Yep. Find it disturbing. Dear Muslims who are listening to him, you know what he's saying to you.
Twisted agenda. It's proven beyond a shadow of doubt. No husn done for those people. So nobody come and say, Akhi, assume good. No, we've done assuming good. And Allah did not tell us to assume good all the time. Allah said, Inna ba'd al-dhanni ithim. Some of the evil assumption is evil, and some of it is valid. And I've mentioned this many times before. Remember Yaqub alayhi salam. When his children came around the second time, even though when they were innocent, he said, Bal sawwalat lakum anfusukum amra. No, you still have plotted something. He assumed that they plotted something even though they were innocent. Why? He had an experience with them with Yusuf alayhi salam, where they deceived him, and he wasn't going to be deceived the second time around.
Wow.
You kind of wonder why is that long pause there, but
He's thinking what to say next.
what are the other insulting words I need to find? Let me think quickly.
So you make dua that Allah removes him from the da'wah map. We don't want harm upon him physically. He's a Muslim at the end of the day. We hope he's still a Muslim at this point. Wallahi, we hope he's still a Muslim at this point.
hope.
I don't know, really. Not much to justify his Islam.
Statistic that up. We
So
hope that he's Muslim at this point, but there is nothing much there we can kind of justify that he's Muslim. And he's like asking people to pray, not only like he's asking Muslims to pray that Allah removes Yasir Qadhi from the Dawa map. He doesn't want any
Wow.
physical harm to him, but because at the end he's Muslim, but he doesn't have much evidence that he is Muslim. So if you've got evidence that he's not Muslim, yeah.
There is a sunnah in Bukhari, if I'm not mistaken. Muhammad said, if a man says to his brother, you kafir,
Yeah.
then surely one of them is such, means the person who said that
Yeah.
he's kafir, he is actually the kafir one. So imagine when he said this, does he not go against his own prophet saying, because even though that he proclaimed the da'if hadith, this one is actually sahih and in Sahih al-Bukhari, 6103, by the way. How
Well,
does that make sense?
other side is the one who is kafir now because he doesn't have much evidence, you know.
Ah, okay.
It doesn't have much things to go on with.
Oh man, crazy. These people are really crazy. Okay.
Thank you very much for your generosity. McDonald's muta at McDonald's. 1 minute.
Misyar, Mr. McDonald's Muta. That was McDonald's Misyar. You
Doesn't
gotta
work.
fix your name.
No, misyar doesn't work with the word.
It doesn't rhyme.
It doesn't rhyme, brother.
But like she's agreed that the part-time stripper said it's a Misyar marriage.
Yeah,
So
so part-time stripper Mohammed Hijab is saying practicing misyar, but McDonald's and misyar are not like rhyming.
So okay, so you gotta make it rhyming. Okay.
So yeah, someone said to me, thank you for your generosity. Someone said to me, someone met with Ali Dawa while Ali Dawa was doing Dawa, and then they asked him, "Oh, are you the guy on the video McDonald's Muta?" I've got like video about Ali Dawa on McDonald's Muta on the thumbnail. So Ali Dawa apparently said, I haven't watched the video, I haven't seen it. Ali Dawa apparently says, "Oh, Muta is for Shias." If anyone got that video, please do send it to me. I can make fun of it, but yeah. Okay, let's continue.
But in order not to fall into takfir, we will hold back. We don't wish harm upon him, but I beg Allah, that he's no longer part of the da'wah at all. That we don't ever have to hear another opinion of his in this world of ours. We have
so he's
already of crazy people calling to Islam.
So he's saying, I beg Allah that Allah you kill him.
Allah
Because he doesn't want to hear a single word from
yes,
him.
no, he doesn't want to deal with it, so he's passing it to Allah. Allah can deal with him.
Okay. And Allah, when Allah deals with these kind of things, you know what he said? Allah says in the Quran, when you kill them, it is not not that you kill them, it's yeah. So basically, Allah is going to send somebody to kill somebody, and then it's Allah who did that.
Yeah. So he doesn't want to hear any opinion of Yasir Qadhi anymore.
That wasn't Yasir Qadhi's opinion. He just gave the academic point of view. He was not giving any opinion of his. You do realize that in his answer, Yasir Qadhi never gave an opinion. And yes, this is Quran chapter number 8, verse number 17. And you did not kill them, but it was Allah who killed them. This is 8:17. So, like, sister, he's proclaiming every single thing from the Quran that there should be some harm upon Yasir Qadhi.
Pray for people's safety. Those of you who are watching us on Facebook and on Adam's channel, as well as on DCCI, please do pray for the safety of men and women. I do concern sometimes, like they said things, and then because I have seen what Muslims are capable to do to non-Muslims as well as to their own brothers and own sisters. So it's just like human heart.
Absolutely. By the way, you stopped the video at a very nice point. Look at his face.
It wasn't intentional. I know he's got pink glasses stuff. It wasn't intentional. Sorry, that like it It wasn't intentional.
But it was beautiful.
We will hold back. We don't wish harm upon him, but I beg Allah, that he's no longer part of the da'wah at all. That we don't ever have to hear another opinion of his in this world of ours. We have plenty already of crazy people calling to Islam, supposedly calling to Islam. Wicked.
Did you pick that? Did you pick that up? There are lots of Muslims who are doing dawah. Actually, they are crazy people.
Absolutely, that's what he said. There are so many crazy people who are doing dawah.
Yeah,
Mashallah.
and you don't need to think that much who might be those people. You don't need to. And he says like world of ours. Who do you think this world is belong to you? It's not your world.
No, the world belongs to the Satan. We know that from the true world.
Because he's wearing like pink glasses. That doesn't kind of put him in that.
Ah, okay. You like the pink glasses. Seems like next time I will see you in a pink glass.
Abbas, tell us about these hadiths are not reliable thing. That hadith doesn't go back to Muhammad of Yasir Qadhi's claims. Please come up with debunking Yasir Qadhi thing if you want, if you think he's kind of misrepresenting anything. Let's pick it up. So I'm not gonna stop at this part because he's gonna pray. I'm very respectful woman. I give people chance to finish their prayer. Okay? So if you want to say anything, brother, take your notes so that we don't miss anything from his powerful prayer. We don't want his
Powerful
prayer
prayer.
to get distracted, okay? Same thing like if I am in the restaurant standing up and saying grace, I don't want anyone to come and then tell me shush or kind of distract my prayer. We will allow him to finish his prayer. Ready?
I'll be on mute.
You don't need to be on mute, brother. Just enjoy it.
Wicked, evil, disruptive, unhinged, self-egoistic, self-admiring neophyte of a human, Yasir Qadhi. May Allah Azza wa Jal destroy him, and may Allah destroy his da'wah, and may Allah destroy his platform, and may Allah not allow his voice to be heard, or his pen to write, or his keyboard to type a single matter pertaining to the deen. This evil criminal who continues his mission of disparaging Islam and undermining Islam, belittling Islam's foundations, casting doubt into the minds of the Muslims, appeasing to the so-called intellectuals and the academics, posing as a person of knowledge, posing as a scholar, thinking that he's some special breed of humans, whereas by Allah, if you were to look at his face, just by merely looking at him, he's automatically disqualified from being a person of knowledge. Just by his mere appearance, you cannot even put him with the people of knowledge. Let alone his demeanor, let alone his statements, let alone his positions.
The answer to the question of Yasir Qadhi is, hey Yasir Qadhi, your face doesn't look good to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, this is crazy.
So 7 minutes 56 second response to Yasir Qadhi, where Yasir Qadhi simply put forward challenge that if I'm happy to be corrected, if you can historically prove this, if you can back it up, I'm happy to be corrected. And then no response from him beside calling names, calling Yasir Qadhi names, identifying him as the enemy of Islam, praying Allah to like destroy his voice, his pen, his keyboard, identifying him as criminal. Yasir Qadhi is not handsome enough to be in the Dawah circle, all those kind of things, and then lots of other words, adjectives he used. No response at all. No reference. Here is what the HCM people are telling us regarding the reliability of the hadith. Here is the evidence how we can be sure this is exactly the words of Muhammad. Nothing. You speak 7 minutes 56 seconds and nothing to the man who is being willing to be corrected.
Perfect on spot. You summarized it. Except for some abuses, some hatred, some threats, and then in the end, you don't look pretty.
Yeah.
You don't look pretty. I love his final comment. You don't look pretty. Like, really?
He raises the bar. From now on, when Muslims are kind of taking off their shirts on the streets or taking the woman to Mecca to put in bed, all those kind of things, we just need to make sure they look pretty when they are doing these so-called dawah things. And there are lots of Muslim who kind of you look at them and then yeah, you need some makeup. Yeah, he's lifting the bar. Without makeup, your appearance doesn't help to dawah scene.
And Greenview said perfectly. He said everything except the answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said everything except the answer. Beautiful.
But this is Islam. Other thing is like there is not like it is kind of what we are hearing is like there was moments I was laughing, but I find this concerning. He's saying those things about his brother, about a sheikh.
But he doesn't consider him his brother. He said he might be out of
Anymore,
Islam
yeah.
already. Yeah. So
Yeah, he doesn't have enough evidence. He doesn't have enough evidence. Yeah, he doesn't have enough evidence that whether Yasir Qadhi is Muslim or not. Even though Yasir Qadhi said, when I am in madrasas, I say this is what the Prophet said. But when I am not in madrasa, yeah, things are
oh,
different.
not just in madrasa. When he even teaches in the Texas University of his, or in the Texas mosque of his, he says this is hadith, this is reliable, this is everything. But when he has to come to his academia, where things are to be judged through the academic standards, he just can't say that because there is no reliability and that is why he did not even write his PhD book about historical criticism and the hadith sciences, because he couldn't find any collaborative evidence, and they go opposite apart. He said that they're 180-degree opposite. You can't use them. And then he said there are certain things where they have to agree to disagree. It's not about agreeing to disagree. It is about saying that there is no reliability that can be proven through the hadith sciences for any historical evidence. And this is such a shame, sister. This is such a shame. You're on mute.
Without hadith, Islam is already like there's no Islam. Without hadith, Yasir Qadhi cannot stand up and then say, oh yeah, Quran goes to Uthman. Without hadith, Yasir Qadhi is not able to know when he needs to do ghusl, when he needs to do wudu. Without hadith, Yasir Qadhi wouldn't know whether to marry with 2 years old baby or not. All those like very basics of Muslim life comes from hadith, and now we are told hadith is being discredited from the historical perspective. We are told that we cannot be sure if the hadith is what Muhammad, if the hadiths are Muhammad's direct words.
Unfortunately, this is true.
Let me put something just for the fun. This is just for fun.
Oh, you have for fun stuff.
But certainly for a very short space of time. Making divorces. How can you be doing divorces? It's finished, bro. I know you're burning right now. I know you can't take it. It's not within you. Yeah, you cannot accept criticism. Oh, it's hurting. Oh, it's probably. But
That's why I call him broom face guy, by the way. Look at his face. It's like a broom. Oh man.
Maybe with the Abu Musab criteria, he shouldn't be in Dawa circle. Just the way he look.
Absolutely. Anything that he says, you shouldn't be accepting it because the face looks
Yeah.
pretty broom face guy. Oh,
From now on, walk on the streets with makeup. From now on. Okay, we've been live for 2 hours and 5 minutes and 29 seconds. With the chit chats, people were not happy at all. But anyway, let me just put a couple of spare chat come to you, brother, and then you respond to them, and then we maybe conclude. What do you think?
perfect. We are right on spot. Mr. SS from Canada said, just saw a short on Jaipur Dialogue. Turkish imams crying. People leaving Islam. Oh, they have been crying for a long time. Irani imams, Pakistani imams, we have shown that so many times. They're crying now because there's a tsunami of ex-Muslims. Maybe a 10-second short, it's in Turkish language. Yeah, perfect. Like that, they have been doing that. Absolutely correctly said.
Yeah,
Thank
I've got that on. I don't know if it's on my channel, but I remember trying to work on that. So I'm not very good with the memory, like what is there and what is not there stuff. But yeah, I remember that clip. This poor young imam was like, okay.
Thank you, sir. Sudushab. Respected sir, the Muslims are praying false god. That's why they are poor. And it's showing in Pakistan and Bangladesh. And wait for 10 years, all Muslim countries are becoming poorer countries. That's not true. I would respectfully disagree with this statement of yours. Not every Muslim is a poor person, um, and they are poor spiritually. I fully agree with you, because the prayer is not intended to curse somebody, and Islamic prayers are all about cursing other people. So they are absolutely uh, poor spiritually. And I'm gonna rant a little bit, sister, on this sentence, because when I was a Muslim, when I go to the mosque in Pakistan for the Jummah prayer, especially after the Jummah prayer, there is a longer prayer in your own language, longer dua that you do in your language. In the normal settings of everyday five prayer, the the prayer is actually short in your language, but in a Jummah, it's longer. And in that Jummah prayer, after the prayer is done and the Imam raises his hand and starts praying, a lot of prayers are to the extent of this English translation that I'm going to say. Oh Allah, curse the Jews, kill them, and give them cancer, destroy America and Americans, and so on and so forth, quote unquote. Now, like this is something that you do prayer in this way. You do supplication to Allah, in which you are saying your words where you are not asking your God, so-called God, to help those people who are astray. Rather, you are asking your God to inflict pain, suffering on the people who are not Muslims. How does that make sense? And it was something that made sense to me for a very long time, because these people are the cancer of society. When I was a Muslim, that's what I thought. And then for the very first time when I went to the church and I heard the preacher on the pulpit praying, and his prayer was literally a prayer where he was praying for the enemy of Christ, where he was praying for the enemy of the body of Christ, means the church and the Christians, where he was praying for the persecuted Christians in different parts of the world, while he was praying for the persecuted Christians in Syria, in Iraq, in Pakistan, in other parts of the world, Indonesia. While he was doing that, he was also praying for the people who were inflicting pain and killing upon those Christians. He was praying for those people, saying, oh God, help them find the truth. God, pour out your spirit upon these people who are inflicting pain upon the Christians in that land. And I at that particular time I wasn't a Christian. Like, it was my first time going into the church. And I was listening to this preacher, and I was like, what kind of a God is his God? Like, how can he pray in positive manner for the people who are killing his people? And I was confused, I was shocked, but at the same time I was like, what kind of a God is this God? What kind of a God is this God? I was unaware of this kind of a God who would not curse these kind of people who are not following him, who would not inflict pain on these kind of a people. And that was the start of my journey to figure out this God. And you know what? God is good. Praise the Lord.
He's good. Yeah.
And that's his goodness. Christianity did not spread by force or by sword. It spread by love. And that is why you have love when you see Christians. If you don't see love in Christians, he's he's not a good Christian. He's probably is a Christian, but not a good follower of Christ. Just think about it. Yes, sister.
Christ is perfect. We worship a God who is perfect, who is amazing. And his heart is uncomfortably generous. His heart is uncomfortably generous towards people who persecute him, towards people who hate him. He loved them enough to give himself for them once for all. So that's the amazing and glorious God we worship. Um, I let me deal with this one and then we stop there. Adam?
Sure. Unlock mind potential. Islam is a mental illness caused by lies and brainwashing starting from the childhood. Absolutely. That is so true. You engage into these things, listening to these things since childhood, and then it doesn't seems wrong. It doesn't even seem wrong.
And also Adam meant thank you for your generosity, I think.
Oh, yes. Thank you for the generosity. Everyone appreciate it and help I appreciate your help and support for my channel and for myself. God is good always, and this
even
is the beauty
when
of it.
even when we are not good, even when we don't feel right, we have a God who is good. He is good all the time.
There is somebody who said something. I need to answer that just a second. He said, if Abrahamic God loves everyone, he would never make a thing like hell. Mr. Simple Being, you are actually very simple, and I understand your simplicity over here. You are coming here from the Islamic point of view, uh, that in Christianity, God created hell where God has put some fire and some angels to burn hell and burn people. Dude, this is not the concept in Christianity. If you read the Bible, it says absence of God is hell. So there is a location where God says, I'm not going to put anything. All of you who are doing sin, and I'm going, and you don't want me, you are not part of me, you don't want to be in my family. Christianity is a relationship with God. And if somebody doesn't want to live with God in a relationship with God in this world, he has a place where he says, okay, this is the place where I will not be. I will not be. Hence, over there, people are going to fight with each other. They are going to do the same things that they are doing in this world. That is called hell. It's called the absence of God. And this is biblical. Go read it. It's not an Islamic hell where Allah is specifically pouring pus on your body or hot water or stuff like that. This is you gotta read the concept of hell before you say something about hell. Please, sister.
So, God of Bible is identified as triune God. Father is loving the Son in the power of the Spirit. Essence of God is love, and love needs to be given freely. I cannot make Adam Seeker to love me. He needs to freely choose to love me or not love me. So by default, love needs to be given freely. God of Bible gives love freely. You respond to that. Eternal Son of the Father give himself on the cross. I love you from everlasting to everlasting. Repent, turn to me. How can I give you up? How can I give you up? So God of the Bible offers his love whether you respond or you don't respond. If you say, yes, Lord, I love you, from now on, because I love you, I am going to make sure we are happy together. So I'll do the things that honors him. That's what you do. When you love someone, you want to do things that that person loves. You start compromising. Oh, from now on, I'm giving this up because that doesn't honor the person I love. The person I love is going to be not happy with what I am doing. So transformation takes place. I love him. I honor him. And because I love him, when the eternity starts, I'm going to be with him because that's the place I want to be with. I want to be. And in that place, I'm going to spend eternity with him. If I don't love him, and then in this world I say, well, triune God, I don't like you. I don't want to do anything with you. And God takes me to heaven, that place is going to be hell for me because I don't want to be there. I don't want to be in his presence. I don't want to be around those people. So freely, you are choosing to not love God and not respond to his love. Therefore, you are making yourself to hell. So, as I said, love must be given freely, and God of Bible gives it freely. When you say, I don't want it, you go to the place where Bible talks about pretty terrible punishments, where also the place where God of Bible is not being dwelled. Because if you come to heaven, that heaven is going to be hell for you. You don't want to be there. God cannot force you to get there. You simply respond to the love and then you enter in the house of God, where men and women are worshiping God, where men and women are singing to God, where men and women are spending eternity with God. So it's not about location for us, it is about the one whom we are going to see. So it's very different understanding of Islamic God. But it's not so, because God of Bible is love, because triune God is love, therefore there is a place for those who reject him. That's what it is. Any last thoughts, brother?
I think you already described it perfectly, and that's what it is.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone who joined us. Especially thank you very much, Adam, joining me. And then going through Abu Musab's video, where we see not only Yasir Qadhi expresses that there are serious problems with the Hadith and its history, where Abu Musad spends almost 8 minutes to just like call him names and then provides zero response to him, where we got to see the heart of Muslims towards one another, as well as by default we got to see what Islam teaches. So really appreciate that you made yourself available and join me, as well as thank you very much everyone who was watching us on Adam Seeker's YouTube channel and on Facebook, as well as on DCCI Ministries. Let me also say
Thank you so much.
once again,
Sorry.
thank you to McDonald's Muta. I don't collect jizyas. I don't collect jizyas.
By the way, this is like a lot of people pay jizya, but like this jizya is like they're doing it with happy pride way rather than humbled and imposed upon them. Like this like they change the definition of jizya over here, just like the Muslim changing the definition of jizya. Oh, it's just a tax. It's just a tax. Don't you pay tax? So, oh, it's just like zakah, and it's not like zakat. Like, but like. Thank you, sister, McDonald Mota, for Hatun Dash supporting Hatun Dash channel. Yes, sister, read it.
I was thinking, jizya is the money of protection from in Islamic circle, like from Muslim mafias. You are under the wing of kings of kings, so you don't need to pay anything to anyone, because you are already protected by our glorious God. Thank you very much for your generosity, though. Don't give me jizya. Adam, do you wanna say goodbye to your audience?
Yes. Before I say goodbye, there is another live stream that I'm doing with Godhead on my same channel, Adam Seeker. It was scheduled for some time. It will happen at 12:30 Eastern time, around 1 a.m. India time, and 8:30 p.m. UK time. Godhead is a person that you will see a lot of time on Speaker's Corner. He does debates over there. Today's topic, we are going to do a very different kind of discussion in that particular stream, where I am going to say that in Quran there is not a single verse which goes against the Bible if you read the Arabic and the translation of that verse without going to the tafsir. If you forget the Islamic narrative, it's not saying anything against it. Quran is talking to some uh, heretical Christian sect, which we do not know which one it is, but he's talking to some heretical sect that we do not know historically if there was any, but it is not denying or saying anything against the true Christianity or teaching of Christ. So a very different way to look at Quran, a very different way to talk about it. So if you're interested, do join in with me and Godhead. And Sister Hatun, if you will have time, do watch it. And if you would like to jump in, do jump in.
You said that's 8:30 p.m. UK time, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's an
Yeah.
8:30 p.m. UK time.
Okay. Those of you who are watching us on DCCI, please check out Adam Seeker's YouTube channel. And those of you who are watching us on Adam Seeker's channel, you can subscribe to DCCI Ministries if you like.
Oh, you should subscribe to DCCI Ministries because Sister Hatun is doing an awesome job.
Because I am awesome. I've got lots of awesomeness degrees. I don't even know how many are they. It does nothing, you know.
But like she has 32 different variations of Quran that she was showing on Speaker's Corner a lot of times. And this is beautiful. So she doesn't have a lot of ijazah, but she has a lot of Quran which are in Arabic. And
Yeah. Yeah. As I said, thank you very much for joining me, brother. And thank you very much, everyone who joined us on many different platforms. By God's grace, I will see you on DCCI channel tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK time, where there will be debate between Mary Harp and Robert Spencer about did Muhammad existed. So you don't want to miss that.
wow.
Should be fun. Should be fun. Adam, once again, thank you very much, brother, for joining me.
Thank you so much, and thanks everyone. God bless you all. Allahu Asghar wa Yeshua Akbarul Azim. God bless you all.
God bless you all.